Hello, this is session 4. We are currently without a Sam because she is going to be joining us in the next 30 minutes to an hour, something. So until then, all we have is Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
And before I hit the record thing, Brian was going to regale us with what happened, I think. So you do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I'm the only one here. Okay.
Theoretically, I could do it too, but you just started to say it earlier, so go ahead and say it anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well, last time on this adventure of ours, Locke and Riven, along with Oak, fucked off to mess up the shit of a bunch of goblins who had been in some capacity planning to attack the settlement, or at least pester them in some capacity, and had ties to something that apparently ties into Riven's past. I don't really know. I'm not Riven. So we, after a bit of planning and rescuing a direwolf pup, we through a bit of a planning and MacGyvering, I guess you could say, we were able to actually eke out a victory against that entire goblin camp, which we were not supposed to do. From Dungeon Master's perspective, we were supposed to yeet the hell out of there, but no, we came out on top through some clever planning and the overpowered nature of the spike growth spell, turning about half of the enemies into mulch in the first few rounds. Love
Yeah.
that spell so much.
Which
So
oddly
good.
enough, the spike growth spell came from the DMPC, and you were not supposed to finish that combat. So,
Well, we did anyway. You contributed.
I mean, part of the reason why it happened was because Oak, who is not necessarily the most battle savvy person, saw the potential in, oh hey, we can trap these guys in a tent. That makes sense. Let's do that.
Exactly. And not only did you trap a bunch of guys in a tent, you turned a bunch of other guys who tried to leave the vicinity into mulch.
Yes, the only the only one of which was able to get out of the tent and not be turned into mulch was the one that could fly. So,
Indeed. And now we apparently have a direwolf pup who's like an ally of some description. And we made our way back to the town and we spotted a tiefling person or something or other with like a book or a bard's instrument. I don't remember. It was something. And that's where we left off, but that's not where we're picking up, apparently.
no, it is not. As Riven is currently not here, we are going to back the story up just a tad and go to the uh, the night prior to arriving back in town again, because as was not said in the recap from earlier, in the aftermath of the fight, Oak decided that it was a good idea for Locke to get rest and did not wake him up for his watch. So instead,
Yes,
Locke
yes,
slept
because
the
I'm the
whole
little boy of the group.
Locke slept for the whole night, and he had, shall we say, more pleasant dreams than his last one, at least, maybe.
Well, we'll find out because that's apparently what we're going to be covering, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. Um, so at least this one will not be necessarily as dark, considering that now Locke has a little bit better idea of what is going on with his patron due to his book having been somewhat revealed prior.
Yep. I now know the name of my patron. I'm Vindsvept.
Um,
Okie dokes.
which say that again to make sure that I say it like you do, because however you said that sounded cool.
Amvinswend? And that's how it's
Ambinswind.
spelled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ambinswind. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. I get
Weird
dyslexic with
fucking name
letters
of the dog.
sometimes and don't see all the cool letters to make words.
I noticed.
Shish.
Never.
You're not supposed to. Never mind. Anyway, um, so with that, we pick up the story with um Locke surrounded in what at first appears to be darkness, at least on the surface level, and then dark vision effects because half elf triggers, and you realize you were in a tree.
How high up am I?
You don't know because everything around you is shrouded in like swampy greenery leaves. So you have no discerning of how tall the tree is, although it does seem sort of tall. And looking down, you do get a sense of vertigo, maybe a little, but you're not entirely sure exactly how tall.
All right. Am I like standing on a branch, or is there like a recess in the side of the tree, or
Standing on a branch.
how big is the branch?
At least a couple feet across to support you somewhat comfortably, oddly enough.
Okay.
You realize you're in a very large tree that can support you standing, but it is still a tree. And
Right.
it appears to be some variation of like a willow tree because it's got that whole shrouded leaf thing going on.
Right.
And you can't really see the area around you. And unlike your last dream, this dream seems to be a little bit more freeform, so you can kind of do stuff if you want. So,
All right. I'll go ahead and walk as far onto the branch as I can without, risking falling off to do a poor balance, and see if I can get through like the shroud of leaves to get a better look at my surroundings.
all right. So you sort of you can make it there. The branch sort of narrows as it gets towards the tip, of course, but you can sort of make it to the greenery and the leaves. And the more and more you go through the leaves, the more and more you realize that the willow aspect of this tree is extremely thick. It's like you're going through a like a coked closet kind of thing, like a wardrobe effect. It's like it's never ending.
Mm.
And because of dream logic, you feel like you've been doing it forever, even though you kind of haven't been. Because
Alright.
logic would say this tree branch you're on is only so long, and yet it feels like you've been walking forward for much longer than the branch seems long.
All right.
But as you're sort of making your way through, or continuing, even if you stop, as you're sort of moving forward, you hear your patron's tinny, echoey voice that I have to make in post because it's easier that way. You did well.
I'll kind of pause and look around for the big ass eye that I know is the indicator.
At the moment, you don't see it. You see mostly willow branches.
All right. I'll look ahead and I guess keep pushing through the branches while saying, I suppose.
How did you feel about that fight?
I was terrified. I wanted out. I'll be honest, I wanted to just run.
But you did. You even had a chance to do so. Why didn't you run away?
If I'm being perfectly honest, looking at the situation, I figured it was a smarter decision to stay and try and help the other two. I probably wouldn't have been able to get very far on my own if the goblins decided to start chasing me, and I knew they'd stand a better chance of coming out alive if I helped them, so...
Would you call these two that you're traveling with your friends now?
I don't think so. Not yet. I don't know enough about either of them. Oak is friendly, but his father brings doubts into my mind. And I don't know anything about Riven. I can't trust someone if I don't know anything about them.
Perhaps your friends feel the same way about you.
I'm just a kid. From their point of view, what's there to know?
The magic that you hold is obviously very different from Oak's.
Magic takes a lot of forms. I'm sure they both understand that.
And expect trust from others if you don't trust them.
I guess it's just not easy. I mean, you were there. You know what happened back in... when I first got you. When I first found the book. I imagine you know everything that happened before that, too.
And I know much more than that.
Why am I not surprised?
These friends that you travel with can lead you to greater things. Not just a kid, Locke. You're meant to be someone... You're meant to be someone powerful. He's trying to boost your confidence, essentially, because he knows you do not have much.
I mean, you say that, but I didn't have any of this until I found the book. Before that, I was a whelp more than anything else.
You do actually hear the voice sigh, and then the tree and willow and all the stuff around you that you've been traveling through sort of fades and falls away, and you feel yourself tumbling for like maybe all of 5 seconds, and you're back in the swampy water from before, though it doesn't feel like quicksand this time.
I'll grunt in pain when I hit the ground and then struggle back to my feet, probably a little winded from a fall of that length.
Yeah. I mean, you did have enough time to tumble end over end a couple times, so yeah. And then getting up, you find that you're in that same sort of swampy area, and your Eye of Sauron is there in front of you. Still pretty high up, but it is there. Did you read some of my book before I revealed some to you?
I did, yes.
This is your chance to question, learn. You've earned your keep. It may be my magic. You're the one building it. You're the one knowing what to do with it.
I suppose.
I of course can't answer all of your questions. But if you have a few pressing questions, wish to learn, I can give those to you.
I'll kind of fidget in place a bit. Well, I know your name is Vindsvept. That you come from some other plane. I know that you want people to know of your magic, but not necessarily of you. But what about me? What can you tell me about you? I only know so much right now.
I am a great power. Force that exists in this realm of my own, and wishes to send that strength to others, so that they may become powerful mages warlocks, and that my magic can spread more than just the realm that I'm in.
I see. Well, I think I will keep traveling with these people for now, at least. I still don't know if I can trust them with everything about me. But if nothing else, I'll take your advice and go with them for now.
I don't really think that Kelethir, Father, like those elves of your past. He seems different.
Perhaps he is, perhaps he isn't.
Much like you, Riven seems to have to know to speak directly about her past as well. You have to be willing to talk to others, some cases before they will talk.
Well, we'll see what happens, I suppose.
Magic may come from different sources, but the magic itself is not what makes the mage. The mind, the personality of that person is what makes the mage willing. It may be my magic or willing, but it's you out there fighting. Don't forget that.
Right.
I seem to recall a time when you would always run. You wouldn't even stand up and fight. And now you're facing off against multiple enemies, getting slashing gashes, and
I certainly don't enjoy it. You told me I needed to learn control. I figured that going along with Riven to find those goblins would be a good way to learn some control. I didn't necessarily go there wanting to fight. I went there wanting to get better. I don't want another accident like what made me run in the first place.
you have others around you that are stronger than those people.
Perhaps, but I'm also getting stronger now. I've noticed.
Is Locke going to try to walk towards it like he did before?
I mean, last time I'm pretty sure I did that because it beckoned me. It's not doing that this time.
No, it's not. But I'm just giving it to you as an option.
Alright. Well.
Otherwise, you got a swamp around you and him still in front of you. I guess, in quotes, in front of you.
If that be the case, after a couple more moments of giving things some thought, Locke will start to walk towards Vindsvept again. And as he's doing so, he'll slowly lift one of his hands as if to touch, while also letting some of the inky blackness of Eldritch Blast energy kind of radiate around his hand. Not to unleash it as an actual attack, but just letting it hover there.
Yeah. And as before, the swamp water that you're walking in sort of follows suit and is around your hand as well. I'm impressed. You're moving closer and I didn't call you this time.
If I want to get better, I need to embrace it, don't I? Well, if I want to survive what's probably coming after me, then I need to get better. And that means I need to embrace this.
So, you continue to move closer, and you got the um, the inky blackness and swamp water and all that fun stuff for Eldritch Blast is sort of surrounding your hand as before. And there's a moment where there's a slight color change to the tint of the eldritch energy around you, and you go from quote unquote holding Eldritch Blast to holding a different spell altogether. And
Ooh, what's the spell?
your hand starts to fade away from your vision.
I'll pause and look at that and try to figure out what the hell I'm looking at.
Yeah. And then I believe. Okay, yeah. So you get the sense that you're doing some sort of illusion-based magic that's obscuring your own, like, appearance. Huzzah, you're doing spell that you chose to pick for this level.
Ah, okay.
I was sort of hoping you had, like, Armor of Agathis or something, but nah.
Locke's not meant to be an upfront combatant.
Is this true?
A lot of the spells I'm picking for are more meant to be utility and support based.
This is true. Which is, of course, going to mean that our big upfront heavy hitter is going to be Riven, because Oak's support too.
Yeah. Well, I'll also kind of slightly double as rogue because of like my stealth and the fact that I have thieves' tools as a skill and inventory item.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll kind of let the invisibility wash over my whole body then.
Yep. And now, in character, Locke has a reason for feeling that he has invisibility.
All right. Okay.
You're learning quickly now.
Life or death situations will do that, I suppose.
And how did you feel about all those goblins you faced?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I was scared. I wanted to run.
No, I mean about the goblins themselves.
They're goblins. What am I supposed to feel? They're dangerous, greedy, violent, attack others. Certainly not ideal creatures.
There is a moment as you're sort of continuing to walk. Once again, one of those like logic dream effects, except this time in reverse. Instead of moving a further distance, or instead of moving a shorter distance while feeling like you've walked further, you're moving a further distance while feeling like you walked shorter. You are suddenly closer to where you see the amorphous mass that is Vindsvept. And now, if you did want to actually touch the amorphous mass that is your patron person, you can totally do that.
Well, I will attempt to do so.
None too surprisingly, considering he resides in a swamp. He's very, sort of clammy and cold.
Clammy cold, alright.
Like, very, very cold. There's a, at least to the cold aspect of it, there's a very reasonably unnatural feel to the cold.
Reasonably unnatural. It's not a combination of words I ever expected to hear, but all right.
I say that what I mean by that is a large unnatural feeling. I guess seems strange, but in other words, it's exceedingly not normal.
Okay. You could have just did that and been fine.
Sorry. I try to make my words more sophisticated with this character because he's all weird. But anyway. Yeah. Exceedingly unnatural.
All right. I'll kind of reflexively pull my hand back a bit.
Don't be afraid of your own power, and don't be afraid of others. You've already proven that you're much more powerful than you think.
I want to take a moment out of character to point out that my patron basically just told me to grow a pair.
Yeah. He did. I mean, Locke's a very timid and terrified character. And part of his patron's whole shtick is patron wants him to be powerful and know that he's powerful. Sometimes the best way to do that is to be like, hey, by the way, scaredy cat, be brave.
Locke will kind of put his hand back on the clammy stuff. Close his eyes and say, I'll try.
Yeah, you're back in your when you close your eyes and look away, close your eyes while touching the Amberson. You find yourself back in your mother's library.
Ooh.
There's no one around, and it's sort of got this feeling of you are there, but you're not there, as dream effects can sometimes do. But yeah.
Why do I get the feeling I'm about to look into the back of the head of my younger self when I first found the book?
But yeah, you're in your mother's library again.
I'll look around for a minute. Does it look different from how I remember it at all?
Actually, yeah. The your mother's like restricted section that she had that your mother had in her library.
Mm-hmm.
It has no books in it at all. It's empty.
I'll walk over to that with a raised eyebrow.
Looking closer, in amongst in that area, you find that the only book that's remaining in that section, it was somewhat hidden in the dark, in the darkness of the shelves, is your black book, Amundsen's, that you had pulled from there before. And
right.
Looking closer, the shadows of the shelves are not like just darkness, almost sort of ashen, as if the shelf is burnt.
Huh. I'll slowly approach the book then.
In so doing, the doorway to the library opens behind you, and when you turn back to look, you see your mother.
Instantly casting invisibility on myself. Whoosh.
Hmm.
Like, I imagine I probably did that like the second I heard the door click to open. It's like, shit.
Um, yeah. Your mother is wan- she wanders into the library, and she seems to be collecting and like pulling off shelves different books, and she's very methodical. Like she knows exactly the books that she's going for, but she's still doing it very slowly. And of course, she has no reasonables to say that you're there. But she's
Being as quiet and careful as I can, I try to get a slightly better look at her face, just like trying to discern like her emotional state. I mean, I know I left on shitty terms, but it's still my mom.
mhm. She seems sad. Like not in a very distraught sort of sad, as in like someone died sort of sad, but she's just sort of
Solemn.
yeah, solemn. There's something that's been eating at her, bothering her for quite a while now, and she's just slowly pulling the books away. And you see that some of the books that she's taken down are some of the first books that she went to were some of her favorite of her arcane books.
All right, I'll watching what she's doing and see where she's taking the books.
Um, was your mother's library? I don't know if it's written here, and I'm just not seeing it. Was your mother's library a part of like your home, or was it separate?
Yeah. It was part of the home.
So
Like
I thought.
we had a big house.
Yeah. Okay. Um, is your mother human or elf?
She is the high elf of the family.
So I thought. Um.
And you can tell by the name.
Oh yeah, true.
And it says in the backstory text.
Yeah. I just didn't look up at it. Um,
You fool.
I didn't read that section of it when I was re-looking at it to double check before I realized. Oh yeah, she's gonna be there. That makes sense. Anyway, um, so she goes up from her library, her personal library, and she heads up to uh, her bedroom. And you
Right.
find that. Oh, you also find that you don't have to take the steps to get to the bedroom. You can just sort of float. You go to walk the steps, and then you just float, and then you're up there. Um,
Yeah, that's interesting.
um, she appears to be packing. Her her bedroom looks as if she's packing, getting ready to leave.
Uh, I'll look around, see if I can see any indication of where she might be planning on going, like maybe a map with a pin in it or anything to that effect.
Nope, not in the general vicinity of her room. No.
All right. Is there anything like just kind of small and loose off to the side somewhere? Like something that I could easily lift with a hand if I wanted to?
Yeah. Uh, we'll say it's just for sake of putting it there. It's your. She's a high elf. It's your mother's favorite necklace.
All right. Is it like sitting like on an end table
Yeah,
or
it's on
just
the bedside table beside where she's packing.
all right? Largely, for the moment, just curious to see if I'm actually here. I'm gonna drift over to one of the walls and poke it, and just see if my finger goes through or if I'm physically here.
It's solid.
So I'm actually here, or at the very least, I'm in presence who's not here but still has a tangible interaction with the physical environment. In which case, I'll drift over to the necklace and just nudge it a bit with my finger and then back up a bit.
It
Like enough to make a little jingle noise.
Yeah, it does so. It does move and makes a noise, and she sort of turns her head to look in its direction.
Okay, I'm going to think for a second, like basically, like try and mentally talk to my patron and ask if will you be able to pull me out of here at a moment's notice, or am I really actually here?
I did not teleport you.
Will she be able to see me if I drop this invisibility?
She will not see you, but she'll know you're there.
Fuck it, I'm going for it. I am going to drop the invisibility. Whoosh.
She sort of looks around as if she heard something, that there was a new sound. Yeah.
What was that?
William.
Ah. Right here. I'll sort of nudge the necklace a couple times again just to give her a direction to look in.
Where are you?
Right over here. Nudging the necklace some more. Only high elf I'm willing to be civil with.
Are you invisible? Can you drop the spell?
I did drop the spell. I'm apparently not actually here.
I have to leave.
Well, where are you going?
I don't know. Another town. Probably south. After you left, and after your father, the town doesn't want me here anymore.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault, William.
Yes, it was. Don't you dare tell me it wasn't.
You lost control. That's all.
I know I lost control. But it was still my choice to try and show off, to try and bluster. A kid died because I let my ego get the better of me.
And now you're running away scared.
What else was I supposed to do? If I'd stuck around, they would have all called for my head and they probably would have gotten it. They were all just waiting for an excuse.
I will come and find you. Where are you?
What's the name of the town I'm in again?
You were actually never given a direct name for the actual town you're in. You just know that you're in the middle of a forest.
Okay, then what was the town I was heading to before I linked up with Riven and Oak?
You were going to Yukiegi. Yes. Yukiegi.
That's a weird fucking name, alright.
It is.
Alright. Well, I'm not 100% sure the name of the place I'm in right now, but I was going to Yukiegi.
Yukiegi. Alright. I will make my way there. I will find you.
If you must.
Don't hide from me. I miss you.
Well, I didn't exactly have many other options.
In another town, No one needs to know who we are. No one needs to know what happened. We could be together again.
We'll see, I suppose. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. I'm trying to wrap my head around the things I can do and where I'm getting it from, and...
You still have the black book from my...
Yes, I still have Vindsvept's book.
Vindsvept. I had spent years trying to figure out that name.
He's not exactly the sort who wants to be figured out, from what I can tell.
We'll go to Yukiegi. We'll meet there.
I'm traveling with others, and they may have other ideas, so... If I'm not there when you arrive, just assume we got sidetracked.
Still my little boy, shy to speak out.
Well,
I'll be there. Whenever you make it there, I'll be there.
all right. The family of the boy how are they doing?
I think Sam is officially on her computer now.
Maybe.
I heard her come in, so...
Yeah, just shh. Trying to be quiet.
Uh-huh. I'll let them know.
I mean, I don't want you to let them know we talked. I want to know how they're doing. I didn't.
They're
mean to do what I
grieving.
did.
They're grieving, but they're safe. Much as they can be.
All right. I guess I'll see you then.
I look forward to it. And maybe I'll meet your new friends, too.
Just be careful. One of them's kind of scary.
Your mother gets this, like, raising eyebrow, confused look. And,
I mean, she screamed at a goblin so loud it basically died. So.
Might need to meet this woman.
Well.
Because high elf and because, like, rich, I'm sort of picturing that your mother has in her bedroom one of the large, like, larger scale windows. Like the curtain and that sort of thing.
Yeah, probably. Like, all very ornate and abstract. I always kind of imagine, like, my hometown having this kind of combination of, like golds and yellows as, like, a color theme.
Right,
And, like, a lot of flowing curves and whatnot. Very ornate, very pretty. To go with their holier-than-thou attitude.
Yeah. So the curtains, seemingly of their own accord, just open up and let in bright sunlight of, like, the morning day, and you find yourself waking up on the ground.
All right. And that was all. And then all that happened before the end of the previous session. All right.
But it keeps you. It's a better dream than your last one, so you're not jolting awake. So.
Wait, how is that before?
In essence, we basically just retroactively inserted some shit to pass the time while we waited for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. No, you're fine. I was wanting to have in this session. I was wanting to have a moment when Locke interacted with his patron person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to figure out the best way for that to happen. And then when you said that you didn't want to, or that you were going to be busy and all this, I was like, you know what? Let's retroactively say that he had another dream conversation with his patron while he was asleep on that watch he never did.
Oh, that's why he took so long to wake up.
Well, that and it's because Oak never woke me.
True.
And my patron just capitalized on that window.
I'd be like,
Yep.
Yeah, so that would probably, yeah, he just like waking up.
Uh-huh.
And
And
the
then
rest of
we
that day went as normal.
And then we skip ahead to re-arriving in the Misty Village in the forest that I still need a name for.
You did
But-
not do enough prep work, man.
It actually, with the context of this village, it would make sense for it to not have a name. It's a very small village, and Leanne sort of helped put it together, and she's not the type
It's
of
a
person to.
homestead.
She's not really the type of person to name things. It's like, why?
Looks like there's no use to it. But I would say it's like a homestead. So.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, we now
We're
skip.
walking in all like. We're all like messed up, just like slowly walking back into the village, like, oh, we've seen some shit.
Slightly disheveled and a little bit more worse for wear than you were when you left.
Except now we have a puppy.
And you do in fact have a puppy.
It's just asleep in Riven's arms.
So, as was said at the end of last session, also he now has a token. That means he's important.
Oh no.
Oh, so happy.
Um,
Yeah, so now we see the tiefling from last session. It's just like sitting there.
Sitting under the tree, seems to be sketching or doing something of the sort, and he is mostly looking in a direction of that way. But he does notice you out of the corner of his eye, and sort of a swish of a tail. Sketchbook snaps shut, puts the pen up behind his or the like inkwell or whatever he was using to draw. I think do medieval times have pens?
They
They
had
had
quills.
and ink jars.
Yeah. So yeah, he
I
puts
think,
the.
I think they might have also had some variety of pencil, but I don't know.
It would probably be charcoal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a charcoal pencil type thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That wouldn't go so well with his white hair, but he puts
We just see
the.
a little black spot on against his hair. It's
Yeah.
from the charcoal.
It had character. He'd be okay with that. Anyway, he slips the charcoal pencil he was using to sketch behind his ear and sort of begins making his way over to the three of you, or should we say four of you, who have made your way back into the village.
Yeah, because we got a fucking puppy now.
Yes, and Riven is just like kind of slowly making her way towards the house. Just like,
And Locke is following suit.
she's not paying attention to this guy that's just running up to him.
I mean, Locke's keeping an eye on him.
Now, where do you think you're going? Ermidor, don't you want to introduce me to your friends? Oak sighs. Extremely heavy.
Huh? At this point, she like stops and just like looks back like, what?
Friend of yours, Oak?
You could say that. I'm everybody's friend. What are you talking about?
You're not my
What?
friend.
Locke is. Can I roll an insight check to see if this guy's full of bullshit or not?
Sure.
right.
Riven just flats out say, "You're not my friend."
7.
He seems very openly friendly, like the polarized opposite of somebody like Locke.
I feel personally attacked.
Uh, um, and also, sort of looking him over, he's, you know, not exactly the least attractive person you've ever seen. And you've met. Has Locke seen tieflings before? He's not seen furballs, but has he seen tieflings before?
I mean, he'll probably know of them. Whether or not he's met any in person, that would actually, in part, be up to you after I left my hometown.
Yeah, you've probably
I
seen him
would
in
say
passing.
far in between.
Yeah, you've probably seen him in passing. He's a very handsome tiefling, shall we say?
Okay, my character's straight, so that doesn't matter to me.
Well, I know that, but still.
Just, and Riven is just flat, resting face. Not impressed.
And this is when I get out of character laughter because of the crazy name that I decided to give this guy.
Oh no.
Okay.
Crazy but fitting. And hey, I don't have to spell it because it's actually a word because yay tieflings.
What?
Oak is just like very solemn. He's very like
It's like, oh god, why now?
if it was expressed on him prior to this, it is very, very more apparent now. He's just sort of done. This is our town know-it-all. Lore keeper, shut up. This is trouble.
Trouble?
Trouble.
Okay, what's his name?
Trouble.
Wait, his name is Trouble?
Name is Trouble.
Oh dear, we're going to be doubly toiling with this one, aren't we?
What was that?
We're going to be doubly toiling with this one, aren't we?
Something like that, yeah, probably.
Please tell me you get it. Please tell me you get it.
I feel like I should, but not quite. I'm kind of tired.
Fucking hell. Shakespeare, man. Double toil and trouble or whatever.
Ah, yes. Gotcha. Now I
Macbeth
get
or
it.
something. Yeah. I don't even like Shakespeare and I know that one.
That seems oddly fitting for him. He would totally know Shakespeare.
Or whatever the closest analog is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he totally would. Anyway. Well, don't sell me so well, Oak. Well, who are you two then? And then Oak's just like points to Locke. This is Locke. This is Riven. Can we go now?
At this point, Riven turns and be like, yeah, let's go.
Bye.
He just wants to go inside and sit down and just be like,
Trouble seems very saddened by this, very visibly, very expressively, just like, "Oh." But he let you go. Are you said you were following Riven inside the house, Locke?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
let's just go inside. Just...
We're going inside. I'll kind of give Oak a look like, what the hell was that about?
Let's just say Trouble fits his name very well.
Please tell me he wasn't going to try and flirt.
Well, probably not. I don't think Riven's his type. So, and I haven't seen him flirt with guys before, but someone like him probably could. I don't know.
And I'll head inside. Whoosh.
Magic. We're just teleporting like every 10 squares.
Yeah. You guys wander inside the shrine, and you find that Oak does not follow you.
But Riven
Nope.
like looks. Where you going?
I'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
Oak's gonna wander off.
All right. Well, while
Yep.
he's doing that, Locke is just gonna sit down somewhere and kind of take a deep breath and start resting his legs.
And I get Riven's gonna sit down. And then put the puppy down.
Puppy is sniffing, sort of looking around, trying to figure out the situation, which new place that it is in. It's also not used to being in this form of indoors. The closest it's got to that is tent. So,
Yeah. So I don't know if Riven's just sitting there watching.
so you're in there for probably maybe a minute and a half, and then suddenly, aww,
Oh no.
and there's
Oh, God.
there's a Gretchen kneeling down with Puppy.
Okay.
Careful, it's a dyer.
Mm-hmm.
As a puppy.
Sort of blinks and looks between the two of you. Huh?
It's a dire wolf puppy.
Oh. How'd you? Oh, he's cute.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
I
We haven't
know.
named him yet.
So he
First
doesn't
found
have a
him
name.
floating. Not yet. I mean, we first found him floating down a river, so maybe we could name him after water in some capacity, though he might not like that.
Who would throw this adorable little guy in a river?
Goblins.
Goblins.
Oh.
How excited does the direwolf pup seem right now?
He's enjoying pets. He's a puppy.
All right. Locke will kind of watch that for a second and say, maybe we should call him Bubbles. No, that's stupid. Forget I said that. He's gonna grow up to be bigger than I am with horns sticking out of his back. Call him Bubbles? No, I don't think so.
No, that's the best part. Calling him Bubbles. No one expects it until he comes bounding up and rips your face off.
I mean, if that's what you want, I'm pretty sure he's
no.
your dog.
No.
I mean, I once knew someone who had a black cat named Snowflake, so...
What?
No, see, that's just basic irony, but it's also fitting. This is Locke is just kind of going to shut up for a minute and start thinking back on start thinking like the various languages he knows. Let's see here, because I'm actually currently looking up an English to Sylvan translator to try and come up with a name here.
Oh, that would be cute if he had an elven name.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, as you two are deliberating names for small puppy, the small pupper is now playing with the little gnome girl. Which, by comparison, she was small too. She's only like 2.5 feet tall. So
This
even though
puppy's the size of her.
even though he's a puppy, he's able to like playfully tackle her, and they're just sort of playing and wrestling around. I like him.
He is cute.
So, wait, where's Oak?
He said
He
had
wandered
some-
off. Said he would be back.
Oh. Wait, you said you found this little guy at like a goblin camp? Did you? What happened? It seems that now Gretchen's got to noticing that you guys are like very disheveled.
Yeah. Pup was in bag. Goblin tossed bag into river. I swam out to bag.
Huh.
Then rescued puppy.
All the more reason to dislike goblins, I guess.
Indeed.
Well,
That's kind of a cool name, I think.
What?
you got.
I'll kind of give it some thought for a second, then Locke will speak and saying, "What about this? We found him in the water. He was trapped in a bag. We found him and we freed him. What if we called him, essentially translated from Elvish to common, free from the water, and condensing it down, Halus, Haalus. What do you think?"
Maybe.
That's what I've got.
I don't know. Oak was the one that was always better with animals. What did you say was? So, what all happened while you were with the? Did you guys fight a bunch of goblins?
I'll kind of hold a hand. I'll kind of hold a hand out to my chest where I got raked by swords the other day, and be like, "Could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
They won't be giving you any trouble."
I don't think they could get in anyway. Well, I guess.
Well, they definitely won't be giving you trouble now. Either way. Ow.
So, fought off a bunch of goblins, and you. How did the battle go for Oak?
Not
Well-
good.
I mean, he's alive and well and perfectly fine, but he got thrashed a bit, partly because he was saving my life. Again.
Oh, he was beat to hell like you were.
Yeah, it was made worse for him because of that spell he used on me, though, and I'll show off the ring that I gave back, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think I actually gave it back. I think I still have it.
Oh, you still have it.
Yeah, I'll show off the ring then.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, what color is the puppy, by the way?
Imagine wolf color, so like white.
Mm.
I mean, most. I was thinking like because wolf and dire wolf. I was thinking sort of husky colors.
Okay.
Something akin.
That's about right.
Yeah. Okay. Think I might know where Oak is now. Did you need something? Or were you just resting in here?
Just resting in here.
Yeah. At this point, Riven's gonna whistle for the pup and get some meat.
But you were very quickly starting to run out of. You've been feeding him for a while.
Yes, I know. He is a growing boy.
Uh-huh.
Locke will kind of watch that for a minute. Riven feeding the puppy scraps of meat.
Yep.
And somewhere in the middle of that, he'll kind of shift on his hind quarters and speak up. So, Riven,
Mm-hmm.
where do you think you're going next?
Probably back north to try to pick up the trail. Try to go back to the start and try to search again.
I see. I need to get to Yukiegi.
Where's that?
Riven would know that that is a town in the north. That is technically the same direction.
Technically, but it depends.
Like, could we move
Is it
over to the
easier?
world map so you could point it out? Like,
Yeah.
compared to like where she'd be
Yeah.
going. Visuals are helpful here.
Because I know
Yes,
Riven's been to a few towns in the
Alright.
north where she helped and gather hunting and supplies and stuff.
Yeah.
So which town?
So you are currently in here, the little forest.
Yeah, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
When Riven came down south, she was coming from like this way.
This way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we intersected like right about here.
Right. In that sense, this is Yukiegi.
Oh.
So it would have been a town that Riven
Was not
passed.
far from them.
Yeah, Riven might have passed through it. Maybe she didn't stay there long necessarily.
That's the thing. Yeah, it didn't stay long. They probably went there to sell furs and stuff, but that's it.
Yes, you can make them labeled. Fine, I'll do that later.
It's an important shit for getting around, man.
So when we next come back to this map, all the towns will be labeled. How about that?
Oh my god.
What?
Well, I mean, if we went and bought a map, that would be a logical sense for them to be labeled.
True.
And since we don't have a map,
True.
unless Locke has a map secretly hidden somewhere.
I mean,
Anyway.
in my book of lore, there might be a partial atlas in there somewhere. Is that true? It doesn't have a partial atlas anywhere, or was I just
could.
wandering aimlessly?
Well, you know enough about like a lot of the towns anyway, so I can label the towns that would make sense for Locke to know.
And road signs probably helped.
That too. So anyway, so Gretchen, for her part, is once you took the dog and started feeding it, she like wanders over to the doorway to the shrine itself and just Mom's not back yet. She went with Dad for a little bit. They traveled. They said they were going to be back for
They left a tiny you here by yourself.
I've done it before. Not a whole lot happens. We're super protected. So
Okay.
also it wasn't until recently the oak started to leave. So before it was usually me and Oak, but now it's me. So, and I mean I have Christine, so that's something.
Christine?
Uh-huh.
Who?
Might not have met her, or maybe you did. She runs the shop.
Oh.
Speaking of, I actually was thinking I might need to go pay that place a visit. I need some spell components.
You're gonna want to go talk to.
See then.
You're gonna want to go talk to Christine.
I mean, I know I am. You're free to come along if you want, Riven.
I don't have anything better to do.
Okay.
Can you hang out here for like 30 minutes to an hour first?
Sure. Why?
No reason.
Bullshit, first of all. There's always a reason you're the dungeon master.
I want to insight her and see if she's showing any emotions.
Yeah, you totally can. Once it rolls.
Oh,
She's perfectly fine.
Okay, I'll stay.
She must have some reason. I mean,
I just... okay. This person is trustworthy.
she can't have any kind of weird, what is the word, ulterior motives. Locke, want to roll insight?
I do.
Go ahead.
Try again. Oh, both...
One better! 4! What
Wow.
the
It
hell?
wasn't a natural one.
Ow.
Yeah, so we decided to stay with the little girl for some reason for 30 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, I suppose.
Alright. So you sort of hang around for a little bit. And she seems, and this is something that you don't have to roll insight for, because she does not do a very good job of hiding it whatsoever. As if she did a good job of hiding the other thing. She's nervous. Little tiny gnome girl is very, very antsy for like a good solid last 10 minutes of that whole bit when you're waiting.
And is she overly petting the puppy?
Possibly, assuming you'd let her.
Gretchen, are you in trouble or something?
I think Christine would be a little bit busy until maybe next 10 minutes or so, I think. I just didn't want you to interrupt her.
Can I insight check this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Much
Riven
better! 19!
Yes. Riven at this point is like spaced out.
Just
She's like she's just like staring in space.
Interesting.
That's a 19 on my insight for that, so...
She's hiding something.
Yeah, obviously. This
Ow.
She knows something is going on with Christine right now. And based on like context clues of what's been going on, Locke gets the feeling that it has something to do perhaps with Oak. Just
Being
on
a
the ground.
16-year-old teenager, Locke's mind is immediately going to the dirtiest possible place.
My mind went with, oh, she's selling him drugs.
Now, why would Riven think that?
I don't know. Well, the thing is, Riven's not thinking of it. She's like spaced out thinking about this other shit.
Yes,
That's
but
what-
Sam
that's
thinks drugs.
So
I have no clue.
it's the first thing that came to mind. The first thing that came to Locke's mind is, oh, they're fucking.
No.
That
He's a
would be
teenager.
weird.
Oh,
Anyway,
16.
you still wait for a little bit, and then Gretchen's like, okay, yeah, it should be okay. I think.
That is frighteningly precise.
Guess you'll find out, maybe? And she actually goes out the door herself.
Damn, I was going to use Mage Hand to poke her on the nose. All right, fuck it. I get up and start heading over to the place, and I guess.
Riven like blinks a few times and looks like, "Where are you going?"
To the place I was supposed to go to 30 minutes ago before the adorable gnome girl told me to sit still.
Oh, has it been 30 minutes?
Apparently, she was shockingly precise about it. I step out through the door.
Riven follows. I'm guessing Puppy follows just behind.
La 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 la.
Oh god, are we gonna run into the tiefling again?
He's over there by the tree. He sees the two of
Still,
you.
we're walking out.
Yeah, I know. He's over there by the tree, and he's still like sketching and drawing, and he gives you just a pleasant wave, but doesn't approach.
I'll just kind of give a nod of acknowledgement in his direction. It's like, yeah, I know you exist. Anything stand out as odd or no?
What's that?
Does anything stand out as odd as I'm stepping out? That might explain the way we were, or is it just pretty normal?
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
To the shop, then, which I, as I recall, is this building?
Yep.
I go there.
Riven follows the wells.
Alrighty, you two, perception checks.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
We're all gonna die.
No, we're all gonna come in on something that we shouldn't.
Or not.
Locke sees a butterfly.
The thing is, there is no butterfly.
Could I use that as a spell component? Huh.
Use what?
A butterfly there, its wings.
What butterfly? 18.
I see that. Riven, when you enter the
Wait, first of all, is there a butterfly?
no, there's not a butterfly, but Locke sees a butterfly.
Just assume that that's my patron deciding to have a sense of humor and pulling a joke on me.
I'd be like, there is no butterflies.
What?
And now the butterfly's gone.
I just walk quickly inside. I just quickly
Okay.
walk inside, just...
What else do we see?
Alright, Riven, with your 18 perception, so there is a very strong, at least to you, very strong smell that wasn't here before, and it's akin to perhaps like herbal tea or incense or something of the persuasion, like some sort of very natural smell.
Okay.
Then you haven't smelled this smell before. You've been in the woods all the time. You know woods. This does not seem familiar, but it does seem natural in nature, at least.
Okay.
And looking into the shop itself, Christine is not behind the counter. The shop appears mostly empty, other than, wares. All of it is scattered about. But as far as people, the shop appears to be empty. And Gretchen follows suit, comes in behind you, and she's,
What are you planning?
Riven just goes up to the counter and just like lifts her hand up, make a fist, and then just let it drop on the counter and make a giant thud sound. What was that?
Yeah. Gretchen's like, no, and then,
Oh no.
and then,
Arcade traffic killed
What?
After that, there's a clatter from the clatter and the sound of something breaking from the back of the shop.
From the back.
Yeah.
Riven just tilts her head like,
I'm not paying for that.
I'm not either.
There's a pause. Gretchen's like,
Wait, she like Riven will look at Gretchen and be like, "What?"
you'll find out. 3, 2, 1, and
Are you a
then
fortune teller?
no. And then Christine, mute half-elf shopkeep, appears from the back room. Sort of dusts herself off. She something fell on her.
Oh.
Like maybe flour because it's like white and it's just like powdery dust, and she smiles and gives a little like gesture of hello via like a little wave salute sort of thing.
Riven just gives a slight awkward wave as well, and then just like looks at Locke.
Locke is going to start looking around for copper wire.
Copper wire, that seems oddly specific.
Spell component.
I don't know. Yeah, she doesn't really have any copper wire. At least not immediately available that you can see.
It's disgruntling. Give me a moment to check what other things I have that might need materials.
You know you can ask.
Well, yeah, well, give me a second here just so I can figure out what specifically I need on that front.
Besides the copper wire?
Yeah, for like other materials. So like, for example, for invisibility, ooh, that actually does require a component. I'll look over at shopkeep whose name slips on my mind for the second.
Christine.
Christina?
Okay. I'll look over at Christine and be like, you wouldn't happen to have gum Arabic lying around on any of these shelves, would you?
What is it?
Gum Arabic? It's like making me Google this shit. I had to Google it myself just to know what the hell it is. Gum Arabic. A gum exuded by some kinds of acacia, used in the food industry, in glue, as the binder for watercolor paint, and in incense.
Ah.
Oh.
Huh.
Hi, Tippy.
Actually, she sort of tilts her head and then goes and then points to like the left, and there's a section of the shop that's for like herbal remedies and like tree sap kind of thing, and there's something in there that's labeled as such, gum Arabic. Ta-da.
Okay, I will bring that over to the counter. How much for this?
Gretchen pipes up and she's just like, Are you getting spell components?
Yes.
It's probably a couple silver, Christine, probably not a whole lot. Because it was something that's not usually labeled individually. It's in it amongst a bunch of other like herbal remedies and stuff.
I'll look up at her and see what she says, or indicates rather, because she doesn't talk.
Yeah, she sort of shrugs and points to Gretchen, and it's just 2 silver. It is, I guess, in reference to how Gretchen put it.
All right. And I'll pull out a couple silver pieces and slide them forward.
She takes them.
All right.
And Gretchen speaks up again. You know, My mom might have spell components. She was a wizard at one time.
Well, I'll ask her, but too late now. I've already got this. And then I'll reach up to my eye and with a bit of like a wind's like pluck one of my eyelashes out. And then I will
What?
I'll wrap some of the gum Arabic around that and put that in my component pouch, and now I can cast invisibility.
All right then.
What?
Invisibility. Its material
just-
component is an eyelash encased in gum Arabic.
Yeah, it's just Riven's just sitting there watching this guy and like, what?
He's Gretchen smiles and it's just he's needing spell components. Spell components are sometimes weird.
Oh yeah, no kidding. But now I'll get this kind of devilish little grin on my face, turn around to Riven and go, now I can do this, and I will cast invisibility and disappear right in front of her.
That, Gretchen says, with gesturing with her hand.
Yep.
Now, doesn't he have to buy the component again?
No, because it's not consumed.
Not all spell components are consumed. Usually the ones that are gold, usually the ones that have gold written in their value are the ones that are consumed.
All the others, no.
Okay.
Just need to have them handy.
And it's worthy of note that on a cleric, specifically, spell components can be replaced with holy symbol as long as it's not something that's consumed or directly used. That's why the only spell component that Oak's ever needed right now is the rings.
And as right now, my duration is up to 1 hour, so just to get some finer control over the invisibility spell, I am not going to drop it right away. I'm just going to hold it there.
Seeing you disappear, Christine just sort of claps and smiles real big.
I'll then proceed to say, if you could see me right now, I'd be bowing, but, well...
She bows for you.
Don't quite care the same meaning, but alright.
Then Christine looks over to Riven as a means of, and you would like something?
Hold on.
Also, the you now looking at her, she's still behind the counter. You, having rolled an 18 earlier, the herbal smell that you were getting is very clearly
It's
coming
much
from.
stronger on her, isn't it?
It's actually no. It's not necessarily on her so strong, but it is very strong in the room that she just came from. It is on her, but it's not like super on, like very presently on her.
Alright, at which point Locke will then start looking around the shelves for a bit of string.
Okay. Roll
I
me
find,
investigation to find string.
Okay.
That's not going to necessarily be something directly sold, but it might be something in the room somewhere.
Well, I mean like a spindleless string.
Oh.
Something to
Yeah.
that effect.
Yeah, there's like sewing supplies nearby, so yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll pick up a little spool of thread and bring that over. And how much for this?
These,
Did it
those,
come with a price tag?
yeah, this one had a price tag beside it. It was like 5 copper.
I will slide over 1 silver,
Fancy.
because I don't have any copper.
And now you have 5 copper.
Alright. Alright.
Oh,
And
as Christine's getting the 5 copper, she goes into like the little change pouch that she uses to exchange and do all that sort of stuff, and she fiddles with it to get it open, and then almost drops it, catches it, and then just there we go.
Alright.
But yeah, you have string.
Now, is this just like a herbal kind of store going on?
what kind of
It's kind
store.
of a general store.
Yeah, this is a
Is
general
it a
store.
general store?
It has a whole lot of different things. Yeah. But one of the biggest.
I'm just gonna pick up the puppy and like hold it up and be like, I need a collar for this. She's like awkward right now.
Yeah.
Just like,
Christine's smile is like really big, and it's just she there's a ever present look on her face of "aww," but she can't make that noise, unfortunately. And she actually comes from around the counter to Riven, and like, can I hold puppy?
more awkwardness.
Also, as she comes around, she bumps into Locke and almost falls over. But
Sorry. I'll just walk out, and I walk out because I'm still fucking invisible.
you actually walk outside.
Wait, walk out?
Yeah. I'm gonna walk outside, walk across to this tree over here, pull like a small piece of the bark off, wrap some of the string from the spool I just got around it, and then stick that in my component pouch. And now I can cast Unseen Servant.
Did you actually say that you were gonna leave?
No,
Yeah,
he
I said
didn't.
I'm walking outside now.
Oh, he did say that.
Yeah. And Riven goes, wait, why? Why are you leaving me here?
So that I'm not in the way. I'm invisible. No one can see me.
You could drop invisibility or, move out of the way.
Why do you think I'm going outside?
Well, Locke, make me a perception check.
Okay. I
At this point-
Gotta admit it.
At this point, Riven is just like grumbling and like still
10.
holding the puppy up.
Okay, you're fine.
Ooh, what am I being spied on?
Maybe.
Don't know it all.
So, Christine.
So now Riven is like awkward, holding a puppy up towards Christine. It's just like she doesn't know what to do.
I need something to attach a leash to.
No, not attach a leash to, just like a collar and stuff. Just like
Christine very clearly wants to hold the puppy.
okay.
Riven passes the puppy, I guess.
Just hand the puppy over. This puppy's gonna get passed around and it's gonna get so used to people.
So,
So it's you.
Christine smiles like very, very broadly and happily, and just petting the puppy in her arms for a little bit, and then she sort of she looks to Gretchen for a second, who's still in the room, and then she looks to Riven.
Riven looks like Gretchen. She's like, what?
And then she holds up like 1 second, and she sets the dog down, sort of in front of where she is, and she backs up, makes a sort of it's almost akin to like a prayer sort of gesture, and then and she is now a copy of said dire wolf pup.
Locke outside, tying string around his piece of wood, was like, I sense a disturbance in the force. It is a familiar more people suddenly went, "Aww."
It's just like, it's like Riven's like, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know how to act. What is this?
And she doesn't keep the form very long. She shape changes back before Locke even comes back in, if he comes back in.
Cool. That was nice.
She ran around and played with the pup for
Oh
like
wait,
maybe...
no. No, Riven would recognize what she just did.
He would, yes.
And she was like, oh. Oh boy.
Oh, she shapeshifted. I thought she made a copy.
No, she shapeshifted.
He shapeshifted.
Well, not really shapeshift, but
Shape change.
yeah.
You realize that is literally a synonym, right?
No,
Yes,
it's a.
The
It's like I say that because I'm saying like shape change and stuff, but I can't. Was it wild shape?
It would be, yeah.
Okay, that's the actual spell that she would recognize.
Okay.
And then Raymond's like, oh boy, and goes and picks up the puppy again and gets like super quiet.
Something. Gretchen speaks up. Something wrong, Riven? Do you not like druids?
I need a moment. She like turns and goes outside.
Okay, so I'm racist against high elves, and Riven is prejudiced against druids.
No, it's not that she's prejudiced against druid. She's
I know,
There
I'm
is-
fucking.
There is very much something to it. So you see Riven come back out.
like she is like at this point is like she is slightly shaken by that because it's like and she's like goes outside. I think she like slowly goes and wanders over to the tree that she slept in and just sit at the trunk.
Make me a perception check, Riven.
Oh boy,
We are totally being spied on.
of course.
Ooh.
Oh!
Nothing can hide from me.
Natural 20.
Nice. Okay.
I see all because at this point I'm shaken and I want to be left alone. I need the clock where everyone is.
Okay. So, in that case, you're heading over sort of this way towards the tree you left before, like.
Yep, this tree.
Yep.
Here, I'll just move my character. There. I'm over
Yep.
here. I'm sitting on the ground.
As you were walking past this corner here, you see that hiding at least fairly well in and amongst this tree right here, Trouble is sort of watching the front door of the shop.
Riven just sits there and like makes straight eye contact and be like, "I know you're there."
He twitches and his tail sort of flicks and he's like, "Oh hi."
Hi! Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, kind of. Also, along with that, you see Oak. And he is slumped down, almost asleep at this tree over here. He's like sitting down on the ground with his head down.
Okay, and Locke is like quietly following Riven while still invisible, like trying not to be noticed. Does he notice all of this at this point?
Oh boy.
You didn't roll any kind of perception high enough to see Trouble.
No,
or...
but I imagine I would have noticed.
Yeah, well,
Riven
he's
talking
walking,
to someone.
and once he gets around like the corner of the shop, sure he's gonna see them, unless
Oh,
Trouble
yeah.
hides again.
I mean,
I guess you
Riven
technically-
acknowledged him. So, yeah. Like, would this be a case where I'd roll it again, but with advantage or something?
Probably, yeah.
All right. Give me a second. Perception, advantage, submit. 16.
Yeah, you see them both.
I will, give me just a second here to check the requirements for Detect Magic.
Riven is gonna try to position herself so she's like not entirely in view
So roll stealth.
of the path. Well, she's just like she just wants to go and like try to find a spot near this tree and just be like,
So roll stealth.
Locke is going to quiet. Go ahead.
no.
Mom's vacuuming outside is what that noise is.
Okay, I guess you're not technically hiding, but you're just around the corner. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And of course, Locke is currently invisible. I'm gonna roll cast detect magic, trying to keep the verbal part of it as quiet as possible, and then look over towards Oak once that's done, because I can cast detect magic without expending a spell slot.
Yeah, you're fine.
So let me just real quickly double check detect magic really quick. It's playing spellcaster so much fun. I never realized.
Yeah.
My range is 30 feet, so I imagine I gotta get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get like a couple squares.
Well, you
closer,
were
so-
following me, weren't you? So you would kind of technically be like right about here. So
Yeah,
once you
okay.
decide,
So I'm
well,
like, so is there any magical aura around Oak? Like, has he been put asleep, or is he just taking a nap?
Nope, there doesn't seem to be any kind of magical aura around Oak. However, interesting of note, once as you're casting magic and you're still sitting there invisible, Gretchen makes her way outside of the shop, having followed Riven, but not actually. She followed Riven after a bit. She followed Riven outside the shop, and there is some form of magic over Gretchen.
What school is it?
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
Hmm?
Huh. All right. I will sort of let Gretchen pass and start following her. Now, very interested.
Mm-hmm. She sort of looks around as she follows, and as she comes out, and she sees that Riven has went around the corner and sort of wanted to be alone.
well, not really. It's like she just like she was wandering and stuff. She didn't care if anyone was following her. Well, she just wanted to know where everyone is. She didn't see Gretchen like actually follow her.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay. So she comes out here, and she ends up like in this sort of area, having passed Locke, who's still temporarily invisible.
It can last up to 1 hour, and it hasn't been anywhere near that long yet. So
No. And she comes into this corner here. She sees Trouble. Trouble gives her a smile. And then she sees Oak under the tree, and she sort of looks between where Oak is to her, would technically be her left, and then where she saw Riven walking off to, which is to her right. And she's just like, Locke would hear her sigh because he's nearby, and she goes this way.
all right. I'm gonna make an effort to follow without alerting Trouble to my presence.
Hold on.
Pretty sure this would be a stealth check with advantage because of invisibility, right?
Yeah, it would be.
Let's do this thing then. Advantage. 21.
Nice. Okay.
So as I'm passing by Trouble, can I make an insight check just to see if I can tell whether or not he's up to anything stupid?
If
Or
Trouble's up to
or
anything?
nefarious? If he's up to
Yeah,
anything
sure. Roll
nefarious or
insight.
Stupid. All right, give me a second. 5. Nope.
He seems on the up and up. He's perfectly fine. And he's gonna go this. And he's gonna go this way.
I will take note of that and kind of keep myself positioned right about there and keep an eye on Gretchen and Oak, and also try to keep an eye on Trouble and see what he's up to.
Roll me another perception.
Let me reopen my character sheet. Why not? Sure. On a skill I get no bonus to. 10.
Okay, you're fine. Who do we want to focus on? Trouble and Riven or Oak and Gretchen?
I'm curious about what's going on with Oak. Let's go with that.
Yeah, alright. So
Alright. So Gretchen, she sort of like she doesn't necessarily have to lean down as much, though Oak is sitting. But sitting at 6 foot, he's like still taller than her. Um, so she sort of moves closer to him, and Locke, you see that she doesn't say anything. She like does not say a single word, and she just like places her hand on his chest, and then leans down and is just hugging into his chest. And it takes him like discernibly a while, as if it's taking him a moment to register. And then he's wrapped his arms around her and he's hugging her back.
Okay.
Are you remaining close enough to hear a soft-spoken conversation? You think?
Yeah, sure.
Probably. I mean, you're only
Yeah.
like 10 feet away, so.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Right. Did something happen? We almost died out there, Gretchen. You don't have to go back to the... Just this once. Do you want them to know? Or is it going to be kept a secret? Like you tried to keep it from Mom before? And the oak just shrugs. Um, from what you have seen in... What little you have seen of Oak, he seems sort of mellow and standoffish. Whereas before he was sort of friendly and, willing to talk to people. He's very, very quiet and sort of like mellow at the moment.
I will file that away.
Mm-hmm.
Cast a glance over my shoulder to see if trouble is still around.
Yeah, he's over there around the corner of the shrine house. Seems to be he's heading towards Riven.
Hmm. All right. I'll turn my attention back to Oak and Gretchen for the time being.
Oak sort of like lazily like pushes the hair out of uh, her face, or pushes her hair out of her face. I always like that color. Well, of course you like that color. It's the same color as you. That's not why you picked it, is it? No, but I think you're what? Yeah, I can sort of smell it, Oak. You're a bit high. He just smiles.
Well, if he's high, I will file that information away, kind of smirk to myself, and leave them to it and start trailing the other guy instead.
Mm-hmm.
He's just high. He's not under some horrible spell. He's probably okay for now.
Fair enough. Alrighty. So to Trouble and Riven. While you're sulking, Riven, you see Trouble there. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she would have yeah. Uh, well, I kind of. Well, first when she walks over there and stuff, not real. Just goes and sits down on a tree, trying to be as small as she can be for being so tall,
Aw.
and just holds the puppy and pets it.
He's a very cute dog.
And she like glances over.
He holds his hand up beside him as like a harmless type gesture type thing. He's like, I'm not going to do anything. I don't know. Maybe you need somebody to talk to.
I don't know you. I don't trust you.
Okay, that's fair.
She's still glaring at him.
He sort of sits down, like almost in the middle of the road, middle of the little roads, keeping a distance, strong enough distance away from you. And he's
She
just,
sighs again.
I'm gonna nudge just a little closer, and can I like just? Does he have anything odd on his person that I can tell from this distance?
odd. Like, in what way odd?
Like anything that would like raise red flags. I don't know. I mean, like right now, Oak is high, and I don't know if that's by his own power or for some reason this guy's just a troublemaker and made him high. I don't know. I don't know. Something about this guy is setting off red flags, and I'm keeping a very close eye on him.
Fair enough.
So this like being an investigation check.
Yeah, give me an investigation to sort of look him down.
6.
Woo! You are immediately drawn to his very, very exquisitely carved and created violin.
Well, Oak wasn't bludgeoned, I'm pretty sure, so I'm just thinking that to myself.
Oh, I would like just once he sits down, like Riven sighs, and then kind of scoots around the tree again, so she's out of his view.
Can I tell you a story?
No,
You don't have to talk.
She did.
I don't want to hear your story. You know, I kind of want to do a thing here.
Um,
but I'm
Riven
not sure if
pulls something out once she knows that she's out of sight from them. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of tempted to cast minor illusion to make a bird that kind of flutters in front of him, and then use thaumaturgy to have it say, "This is the part where you leave the nice lady alone," and then flutter off and disappear. I genuinely want to do that.
Go right ahead.
You know what? Fuck it. Locke's gonna do that. He's going to
doesn't
reach.
that drop your invisibility?
No, I don't think so.
It's not an attack spell, so no.
Yes, I mean it's concentration, and I'm not swapping for another concentration spell. I don't think. Let me see here. Minor illusion, not concentration. Eldritch, hold up, and thaumaturgy. No, not concentration. So no, I won't be dropping my invisibility. So Locke will shuffle back just a little bit so that the verbal parts of these spells won't be heard, and he will create just this tiny little robin that just kind of appears in this tree here. And flutters down to land right next to Trouble. And as soon as he sees it, it'll look at him and say, "This is the part where you have to leave the nice lady alone." And then flutter back to the tree. Thanks to thaumaturgy being a thing.
Cute.
So how does
Cute.
cute?
I like
That's
it.
He says
I like
cute?
it. Where are you at? He starts like flicking his tail in the general direction of wherever he's trying to find Locke.
I'm still fucking invisible, so Locke is just gonna stealth
Yes,
back
but
away.
he knows that it was a casted spell. He rolled a nat 20 on Arcana.
Yeah, I see that. That doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna know where the fuck I am, though. So Locke is just gonna get the hell out of there. Like, shit. Okay, never mind.
He leaves you be, Riven. Sort of wanders over here.
Well, I mean, because he had something to distract him.
Well, I mean, he knows you don't want to deal with.
Honestly, yeah, she just moved out of his way. She didn't really tell him to, like, fuck off. But still.
Well, you didn't, but Locke did.
Yeah, Locke did. So
So
he's
he's
probably more
listening.
curious about, like, where is this being?
Yeah, well, he knows that an invisibility spell only lasts so long. Eventually, Locke will show up.
Mm-hmm.
You rolled a 21 stealth, so
Yep.
anyway. So Riven, you're looking over a thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, in all honesty, I was, like, kind of expecting to, like, I don't know, Locke to spy, but
Kind of expecting what?
Locke to spy since he's invisible, but he went the other way.
I mean, at this point, the guy's actively looking for me at this point, so I'm just trying to break his interest so that he stops trying to find me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's not really trying desperately hard to find you now. He was just flapping his tail at you menacingly.
Menacingly, eh?
As menacingly as he can get, which isn't very.
All right, well, I'll kind of sneak my way over here behind this building. And,
Just, like, quickly run around.
and you know what? I'm gonna make my way back over here and check in on these two.
Um, yeah. Oak at this point seems to be asleep. Like, actually asleep. And Gretchen is just sort of leaning up against his chest. Still in a hug.
Okay. I will leave them to it then, and I will go back inside. I'm not going to pester Riven because she scares me.
That's the thing, you're invisible.
You're invisible for like maybe 20 minutes more at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, once I'm inside, I'll kind of look around and see if there's anyone in here.
Nope.
Well, in that case, I'll just take a seat like right there in that corner and drop my invisibility. A good test run. And I'll pull out Enviswen's book and give it a look over.
Okay.
Any new text appeared that I can actually read?
No, not really. Not at the moment.
All right. I'll put it away then and just take a little bit to just go into a short rest to get my spell slot back, I guess.
As you're doing your short rest, you get that sort of wispy voice of Answin again. Learn about your friend.
All right. Well, I'll give it about, I'd say, like 20 or so minutes, just that Riven can like get her shit together.
Probably.
Yep.
Maybe.
So how long's Riven sitting at the tree all sulking by herself?
Mm.
All right. Well, then, after about 20 or so minutes, Locke will leave the building again. Coming over, kind of peek out from around the corner.
She's still near the
She's
tree.
still in the she's still in the same spot, still looking at something, and the puppy's there. I don't know what the puppy's doing.
Puppy is nuzzling Riven.
Hmm.
Locke will kind of stand there for a second, kind of nudge a little closer. Did you like the bird?
What bird?
I guess you didn't
She
notice.
wraps her hand around the thing that she's looking at. Just to try to hide it, but not really.
Well, when trouble was bothering you, I made him go away by making a bird fly down and talk at him.
Oh. Thank you.
I just figured you wanted to be left alone. Do you still?
I don't know.
You alright?
No.
Well, I won't pry. It's your business. If you want to talk about it, that's up to you.
She just sighs and lets go of the thing she was hiding in one hand.
Roll perception, Locke.
Okay. Let's see here. 16.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Are
you
you-
would notice. It's a necklace that she's wearing. That's kind of beat up. There's a dent and then what looks to be teeth marks on it and stuff, and it's a unicorn head.
Does Locke have... I don't think he does. We said it before. But sure. Locke, roll religion.
I have 1 point in religion due to my intelligence score. 13.
It very clearly reminds you of, like, how... It reminds you of a holy symbol. Like how Locke has, or how Oak has his leaf and whatever. It's reminiscent of a holy symbol. Or something akin to one.
Alright. What's that, if you don't mind my asking?
Necklace.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
If only you rolled a little higher, you would be able to tell the make of it. Like style-wise.
Yeah, but he didn't.
But, and it used to belong to someone I know.
Locke will kind of put his back against the wall and kind of sit down as himself. Pull the black book out of his bag. You know, this belongs to someone I know too.
Did you steal it?
It belonged to my mother. Pretty much the only thing from her I still have aside from the ears.
That was an oddly specific phrase.
What do you mean?
Because you said it's the only thing I have from her other than the ears.
Half elf, man. My ears are a little pointed.
Yes, I know. I'm just wondering if Riven will pick up on that.
Just a slight twitching eyebrows of going into a confused light, and then
I'm thinking I'll probably be staying here one more night, and then I'm probably going to be heading on to Yukiegi.
I think I can follow you.
You sure you want to tag along? Seems you've got plenty of baggage of your own.
I need to head back up there anyways.
Well. Safety in numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of put the book
Even
back
though
in.
last time we else. That didn't matter.
I mean, if it had only been one of us going up against all those goblins, whoever it was would have died. Even if it was just two of us, probably would have gone down, but there were three. Made it through.
Yeah.
Oak's high, by the way.
Hmm?
Oak. Apparently he's high right now.
Is that a good thing?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Both of you roll me perception.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Are we being spied on?
Probably.
Possibly.
14.
14.
And 14. Wow. Okay. Yep, you're fine. You're good. Continue.
So we don't see him?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Makes me wish I had Bubble of Silence or some equivalent. Nope.
Also, you don't necessarily know. I mean, all these other times when I've had trouble be doing some troublesome things, I had him disappear from the map, and I didn't this time. But anyway.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna head back inside, Riven. Wait for people to come back. Maybe see if Oak's mother can get me one more spell component. There's still a few I need, and spellcasting family. She might have one or two spares I can borrow.
Did Gretchen say they would be back today, or
I think.
this was out of character?
Yeah. Gretchen mentioned that they would be back. She never said an actual day, but she said they would be back.
Well,
Okay. Well,
yeah, and it's just a bit easier to keep my eyes on my surroundings when there aren't as much surroundings to keep an eye on, you know?
yeah. And I guess going inside would help.
All right. Locke will stand up
feed
then,
this.
kind of.
Rest
Locke
happy.
will stand up, dust himself off, and turn to head back inside.
And Riven goes to follow, but then takes a detour over to the butcher's.
Perception from both of you.
Oh boy.
Once again.
Do we like turn the corner and run into him?
14!
Again.
Again! 3 14s and a fucking-
18!
There we go!
Alright. There we go. Okay, well, this is a different thing entirely. But,
Okay.
as you, like, walk around the corner, both of you happen to look towards, where Gretchen and Oak are.
Mm-hmm.
And now, for the first time, Riven, you see that Oak is in a very similar vein to what people may have thought you were doing. He is leaned up against the back of a tree and asleep.
Hey, okay.
And Gretchen
He's still like that?
Gretchen is also laying down, or what appears to be Gretchen is also laying down against him. And what strikes you as immediately different and strange is Gretchen's hair is brown.
Huh.
Both of you
Can
would see
change the
this.
color?
Her hair is no longer
Alright.
blue. Her hair is brown.
I'm gonna wander a bit closer and do detect magic again. Is the transmutation aura still there?
Nope.
Huh.
Because, she's asleep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Riven doesn't know that he cast that, but she now sees that her hair's not blue. So
Oh.
Huh.
Okay. Interesting.
That's cute.
Riven
And-
still goes to the butcher to go buy some more meat.
And Locke just goes inside to sit down. Like, okay, that's a cute tidbit. Her hair is not naturally blue. I kind of figured. That's not a color you typically see, and I don't think we have hair dyes in medieval fantasy world.
nope, you don't. Not normally. I mean, technically, I guess you could sort of almost fudge
I,
it with like herbs and stuff, but nah.
I mean, not that fucking bright. At least not that bright, like fucking neon cyan.
No. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you go inside the butcher shop, Riven?
And yeah, she goes in because she needs to go buy some more meat.
For her puppy.
All right.
And are we actually gonna roll with the name I suggested of Hollis?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd just be like, this one's a lot cooler than what I can come up with. So
And it
Yeah.
actually has a meaning.
kind of. Yes.
well, it does, but anyway.
Free
So
from the water.
going inside of the butcher shop, you see, also it should be of note. It's like late, maybe 7 or 8 ish in the evening at this point.
Oh, I'm like really pushing it. Okay.
I mean, you had to take a full day's travel to get back to town, and you've been in town for maybe an hour or two at this point. So,
Right. Okay.
um,
Like, is the door to the
the door to the shop is in fact open. The butcher shop is open.
Oh, okay.
And you see the little half-orc boy with the eye patch. He seems to be, he's in the butcher shop next to the counter. Seems to be, like, working with the scraps of food from before and is feeding Thorn, the big German Shepherd
Mm-hmm.
from before. You
All
don't
the
see,
sweet Thorn.
you do not see Mother anywhere. She would be kind of hard to miss if she were trying to hide. So
Yeah.
you currently do not see her in the room. And he looks up and sees you, and he's like, "Oh, hello. How are you?"
Do you have any extra meat?
Probably scraps. What do you need? Oh, you have. Aw, he's cute.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Here we go again for the third time.
Would you like to hug this one too?
She just like sighs and holds up the puppy. Like, okay.
Ooh, he has spikes. It's a dire wolf pup, isn't it?
Yes.
That's different. Okay. Thorn, play nice.
I need food for him.
Right. Hold on. And he goes behind the counter and he starts sort of rummaging through it for a bit.
Oh, for a minute I thought he was just gonna sit there and like yell for his mom.
Mom,
Wait.
there's a weird fucking looking cat outside.
Wait
I
for
want
it.
to start a fight with Lucy.
Wait for it. Anyway,
Mom, there's a dire wolf.
he sort of rummages through the backs of the counters and pantries and where did she put Mom? And then there is a thud and
A thud.
yeah, there's a loud thud from one of the back rooms and then Big Mama Orc. Where did you put the other leftover scraps? The she has a friend now. I guess.
Riven's just standing there with the dire wolf puppy, like, hi.
Orc like tilts her head. Bottom left. Which you'll notice, Riven, that you could thankfully understand because they're talking in half orc.
Half
like-
orc isn't a language.
Or not half orc.
It's
They're talking
orc.
in orc. Yeah.
Okay, orc.
The point, like the half orc boy was talking in common to you before, and when you had entered the shop, but as soon as he yelled mom in orc. And then she came in and she was talking in orc. But it doesn't matter to you because you understand orc. Good for you. And he rummages and finds some scraps and foods and stuff like that. Mom might have to go out and hunt a little bit more for you to find some more stuff, but we have that. That might do you for a while at least. And he gives you the equivalent of rations for the dog that would last maybe a week if you did it sparingly. So you wouldn't be able to give it to him as quickly as you was on the other, but it'd suffice.
Okay. Try to do something with it. Well, thank you. How much do I owe you?
Sort of looks up to Mother. She sort of smiles weirdly, which is interesting, and then she's take it. It's fine.
You already gave us a bag of food the other day. How much do I really want to pay you?
I gave you food before. Now I'm giving food for him. She looks down at the dog.
Well, thank you.
Work with a soft spot for dogs. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, so.
She gives you another smile, which, like, is incredibly surreal
It's
for
really
Riven because
weird.
you've never seen any kind of like
Just an
that sort of
orc
expression on
smile.
an orc. And the orc boy just smiles himself, and he's.
Well, have a good night. And she goes and heads back to the temple.
Okie dokie. And Locke's already in the temple from before.
Yep.
Probably another hour or two. Or so. Oak eventually, very slowly, makes his way back inside to join you. Gretchen is not immediately with him at first, but she does show up a couple minutes later, and her hair is again blue. And she sort of comes in and, like, walking up to come behind him, and he only barely notices and registers that she's following him like that closely, and she's, I was not going to go to sleep. I blame you.
Locke just
So-
kind of smirks at them from the side, but says nothing.
He, like, Oak does not say anything and just, like, wanders back towards his area of his bedroom.
And I say nothing and just let him go.
What about you, Riven?
I was gonna sit there and be like, is there any way we can get dinner?
Oh, right. Yeah, I got you. And she.
At this point, I would like to also point out she'd never put away her necklace.
Do what?
Her necklace is still out.
Oh.
She's just like, she was in the conversation. She was just like sighed and like, I give up. She's in that kind of mood. It's just like, whatever.
Okay.
Fuck it, let him see.
So, it takes her a minute, and Gretchen sort of, yeah, okay, hmm. Any specific something that you want? Like,
Just whatever you have.
okay,
I haven't had a whole lot of meat in my time. Do you happen to have any of that just lying around?
Riven like holds up a bag and like shakes it towards him.
Co-
Towards him.
Not scraps.
No, she has a bag of scraps of rations for the dog, and then she has a bag of actual meats that the lady gave.
the first bag,
That was like the first
which
bag
has
that's like running low.
which has like maybe 2 or 3 scraps left, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it would work.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I think I can do something with that. Yeah, and she grabs the bags
It's
and
like tipped. No, what I was gonna sit there and be like, she like Riven just takes the bag and actually like throws it at Locke.
It like slaps me in the face. Just, oh! Kind of peel it off my face. Just, Riven, please. I'll start nibbling on it.
Not the meat, the bag. Are
Oh.
you nibbling on the bag?
Oh, I thought you just threw like just a raw piece of meat at my face.
No, she tossed the bag towards you and
Okay.
like
and
That
the
changes
meat
it.
she was gonna sit there. She was gonna sit there and say like, you need to hand-eye coordination.
Mm.
and the
He
meat
says he
is like
smells nothing,
cured.
pulls it.
The meat isn't actually like full on raw. It's like cured and prepared in a way that would be easy for you to just like set it in a campfire and huzzah.
Jerky.
Yeah, basically.
It's
So with that in mind, let me pull up my spell list here really quick. Could I, in theory, could I essentially like conjure up just the most rudimentary of flames of a firebolt in my hand and just use that to like heat it up? Or is that too much for that cantrip?
It
blow
kind of
everything
would
up.
be. It kind of would
Yeah.
be, but Gretchen sort of. Yeah, Gretchen sort of like goes into the kitchen, brings back like a little pan or something like that, and it's like, I got that here. I can do something with it that's actually maybe substantial, maybe.
I'd appreciate it. I'll pass her the meat.
Yeah, give me a bit, and she wanders off into the kitchen.
Mostly had things like grapes, fruits, and vegetables. All prepared really nicely, but it gets old after a while. Can only have a fancy bushel of grapes so many times before you decide you don't like grapes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The what did we call the puppy?
Hollis, I believe.
Hollis.
Yeah.
H-A-L-U-S.
Hollis is like sniffing in and around the shrine as the food starts to cook. He very much gets the feeling that food is being prepared nearby, and he
Mm-hmm.
is trying, though failing, because he's a little puppy that Riven is keeping her eye on. He is trying to very sneakily go towards the kitchen. He's doing that dog thing of like one step. Are they looking?
Locke is just gonna watch this surreptitiously in amusement. And when the dog's
Riven is
like,
just like, yeah.
and like at some point, like if the dog actually manages to make a significant amount of progress of trying to sneak away to try and go closer to the food, I'm gonna just suddenly use a I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make it sound like Riven is whistling at him.
She just like looks around, and Riven like looks around like, I didn't do that.
Well, how does Hollis react to the fact that he just heard Mama, quote unquote, whistling at him?
He like immediately like jerks. He's like, not doing anything.
Locke just kind of chuckles a little bit. Too easy.
And then he just sits down where he's at and doesn't even go to the kitchen anymore.
And I'm gonna mage hand start petting him. It's like, good boy, good boy.
Looking
Go
around
to
like
the food.
little dog looking around like the fuck? What?
But he's being petted, so he's probably not gonna stop giving a damn.
Yeah, eventually.
Like, accept the.
Like the fuck?
Do I happen?
Wait, what?
Do I happen to? Do I
Okay.
happen to find the hind leg kick switch anywhere?
What?
Do I find the special scratch spot that makes this dog's hind leg start to kick out?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right, and once Locke finds that, he is going to abuse it. Scritch, 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 scritch.
So Riven, your little puppy dog, is now being scratched invisibly somehow.
Riven is just like confused, like, what is going on?
I am not saying what just came into my mind. I almost said something horrible.
Yeah, please no.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, Locke's just gonna smile and say, "Apparently, I'm good with dogs. Who knew?"
How? You're
I'm like gonna wiggle my fingers a bit. Magic.
right. Okay.
I'm casting spells on him, is what I'm doing. Got an invisible hand that's just scratching him all over and making him feel all nice.
Eventually, Gretchen returns with food.
I stop casting Mage Hand. Like I ended off with like a little pat on the head, withdraw it, and then make it dissipate so I can focus on
Yeah,
food.
I'll call the puppy over towards me and stuff and give him some food.
Like a sort of a.
While I sit there and eat.
It's like could be vaguely reminiscent of like a stew of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few veggies, and then there's the meat. And pretty good.
Yee.
All right.
While I'm sort of nibbling, I'll look over at Gretchen. So, when did you say your folks were coming back?
They'll probably either be back tonight or in the morning.
Mm.
Although if you want to talk to them or anything, that would probably have to wait till morning. They'll be very tired when they get home. Probably go straight to bed.
Fair enough. Fair
Or,
enough.
well, Mom will go straight to bed. Dad probably won't be with her, but anyway.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't think there's really much else for a Locke to do at this point except just finish
Yeah.
off his food, relax a little bit, and when it starts getting suitably late, probably head off to that room he claimed for himself and fuck off to sleep.
Yeah,
You're gonna-
Riven is probably just like do like eating and stuff, and then just like kind of sit there and just like fold her arms and like lay her head down and just be like with a big heavy sigh, and probably eventually drift off to sleep. Just
Just at the
napping.
fucking table. All right.
Yeah, she's just like sitting there, just like, what a fucking couple of days and stuff. And it's like she's like doesn't mean to fall asleep at the table, but she does.
Okay.
Well, as you're like laying your head against the table, Gretchen's still there, and she's, "Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You don't look fine."
Uh, I'm fine.
You look like you've been through a lot.
What am I supposed to say? I almost got those two killed. Okay? Yeah, I'm not fine. Okay? Is that what you want to hear?
You're not gonna go off and get high or something, are you?
Oh.
Okay.
Is that just something people do here? They feel bad, so they get high.
Well, at least one of them does. Possibly two, but at least one.
What do you mean possibly two?
Well, you know, she has to enjoy the merchandise herself sometimes.
Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
was right. She does sell them drugs. she's a family drug dealer.
Anyway,
Fucking hell.
Oh.
Ah. Ah.
anyway, so, yeah, um,
But no, just like sitting there, like hoping for. I don't know. Just like if anyone comes in, it's just Riven asleep at the table, and the puppy just wandering around doing whatever.
yeah. Before she leaves you alone and Gretchen lets you sleep, she sort of thinks about it for a second, and she goes, um, did you see me before?
Mm.
Like, I was out talking to Oak because I was making sure he was okay because he got all high and stuff, and sometimes that leads to not good things, and he gets into trouble that way. But he was fine, thankfully. He didn't go and do anything weird like he did a couple times ago. But I fell asleep, under the tree before. I used magic on my hair, and she runs off.
Riffin's just like,
Why did you
okay, well, am I going to use this information? But okay.
like in his sleep Locke's like, carpets don't match the drapes.
What did you say?
Locke in his sleep says the carpets don't match the drapes. Just kind of mumbling it to himself.
Adult joke.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So.
Pubic hair.
Oh God.
Yes,
I
yes.
have no filters.
Anyway, yeah, she goes off to go to bed.
Yeah, and Riven is like still sitting there, and then eventually just like, it's like unintentionally falls asleep at the table.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, eventually, the next day comes, and they're yeah, sure.
I'm surprised like no one else came in. Did anyone else like come in?
Well, actually, no, you're right. It's like late, like maybe 4 or 5 a.m.
And she's like,
when this happens. You wake up for two things. Hollis, the little pup, is doing a very sort of soft, not really terrifying at all. It's actually very cute.
It's just the tiny pupper version of trying to growl.
Yes, pretty much. You wake up to hearing that, and you feel the little tiny bird feet on your head.
She swats at it and like sits up.
Yep. You see a
She's
very
just like, what?
You swat at it, the bird gets out of the way, and you now see a very somewhat familiar bird that flies above you for a second, and then as you look around in the corner of the room, you see Leanne. Well, at least you didn't sleep outside this time.
I didn't mean to sleep here.
You're
What's
fine.
wrong with sleeping outside?
Nothing's wrong with sleeping outside. Just you have a room that you can stay here if you wish to take it. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, it's just an unfamiliar place. Yeah. She's like slightly crumbling to herself.
That's an interesting necklace you have there.
It's like she blinks a few seconds and then I'm like, oh right, and she just like goes and tucks it away.
An old friend?
What?
The necklace looked beat up. I'm assuming perhaps an old family heirloom or hand-me-down or something.
Not really.
Does Oak know you have that?
I try to keep it hidden.
I think he'd like to know.
Locke saw me with it today.
Locke's seen it, but Oak hasn't. Well,
Just
you're free to do as you wish. I need to get me some more sleep myself. Come on, Finch. Then, bird flies to her shoulder.
wait, is the bird named Finch?
Bird is named Finch. Yes.
As in the Finch bird?
As in the yes.
Wow. That is so creative.
I know. Great,
I
isn't
had
it?
to I had to go and fucking look up an older language translator to name our dog. I could have just called him Dog. We would have been fine.
I was looking thinking of using the.
An out of character anecdote. Like my brother and his fiance have a cat that they just call Cat. Like that is her name to them now. She will always be Matilda to me or Tilly because that's what I knew her as. But she answers to Cat, so they just call her Cat. Her name is Cat.
So see, it's not so bad after all.
Yeah,
I don't know, if you use
I like to think it's spelt with a K, but I don't know.
I mean, if you sit there and type in wolf in that Elvish generator, I was thinking of using that, or
Well, yeah, but I mean that doesn't necessarily carry much meaning. Like free from the water, that actually has a meaning. So
yeah.
Either way. She wanders off, goes to lay down and get some sleep.
I
You're now
guess
somewhat more awakened and in a building with no one else around because everybody's in the back asleep.
she's just sitting there like.
we all
And
have.
she's like sighs, like she puts her hand to like with the spot where the necklace is resting, and then just like gets up and like I guess she goes and finds a room.
Yay!
Crash out in.
Okay.
Yay! Sleep.
Indeed. Sleep.
More weird dreams. Woo-woo.
I suppose it could do that.
Yeah. Oh, Locke, you get another dream.
Do we want to, or do we want to just let Vindsvept just let me be for the time being?
Or is it Oak that gets a weird dream? Because,
If he has a weird dream, we aren't going to be hearing it because that's a DM PC.
Uh huh. Hmm.
I don't know. I like to think that Riven just sat there and like flopped out, and the puppy's like trying to get up on the bed, but not having much success. And then Riven just like rolls over slightly, picks up the puppy, and just like sets it down on top of her. That just like sleep.
Puppy very much does the whole like tap tap tap, walk in a circle, sleep.
Mm, okay.
Um. Hmm. Yeah, I actually want to do a little mini dream for Riven.
Oh boy. Here comes the PTSD.
Oh boy.
All right.
Let me go get me some sad fucking music going.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
No, you
I,
want
I,
to. Yeah.
this is one of those cases where I should like deafen and mute myself until you guys are like ping me or something.
No. It's fine if
I mean,
you hear.
you wouldn't necessarily have to. I mean, Riven did hear, or I mean, Sam did hear quite a little bit of your thing, a little bit. So
Yeah.
plus
And it's
plus
just a thing I did. That's just a thing I do in the FFD6 campaign where like I have players who aren't present in like specific like important character scenes or in dreams deafen and mute themselves so that their reactions are just as authentic as their characters.
well, I mean, theoretically, it wouldn't make much difference to me because I'm not going to stop you guys from listening to the episodes later. So.
Well, I don't have the patience to sit down and re-listen to 2 hours of stuff that I've already experienced. So,
Well, I mean, you could skip ahead if you wanted to listen to Ribbons.
I'm not a sore loser, so I'm not going to do that.
Well, I mean, do what you wish. I'm not going to require you to.
I mean, Sam listened to me, so I'm not going to, I'll listen.
I mean, you could mute yourself so that you don't have any like verbal reactions to things. But
yeah, I'll mute myself so you guys can't hear me, but I'm not going to deafen myself. I'll still be listening.
um, so you see um your village.
Mm-hmm.
Your dream is you're back with your village. Um, your your hunting party just came back. From a rather like, shall we say, worthwhile kill. Um, actually, yeah, yeah. You're coming back and you have your your hunting party is carrying back a large black dire wolf. You know this dire wolf.
Yeah, I do.
Mhm. Um, you you know you're there. You're coming back from that real first impressive um hunt.
My
Um,
initiation hunt.
something like that. Yeah. Um,
Well, if it's the big black dire wolf that I killed,
yeah.
then that would be my
Initiation hunt.
yeah.
So Cal's there and just smiles real big. Um, and gives you a hug, and she's just, you did great out there, Riven.
Thanks. Kind of awkward. Mm,
Dire wolves and impressive things. They're tough.
well, they are.
I mean, a big one like this. Come on.
Well, if you didn't give me any pointers before I actually went in.
Well, that was all you. You know that was all you. I may have gave you some insight, sure, but you did that all by yourself. Of course, I had to let everybody else stay back so that you could, but that's besides the point.
What, they followed us?
Yeah, they did. But don't worry, I dealt with it.
Guess it was because I was taking too long.
You know, she sort of does uh, a gesture with her hand, and it's sort of like she's, you know, that money sort of gesture that people make sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, but not quite. And she's just, you know, grasping vines work wonders. I dealt with them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Edmund just. Guess Edmund didn't. I was too slow for Edmund's liking, wasn't I?
Maybe. But he's always been stubborn anyway.
Yeah. Good point.
Alright, come on, let's go home.
She smiles and follows.
Yep. And as you follow, you go in. You go in, your home. The home you've grew up in.
See the group. See the group and home.
Yep.
She just like looks at it and just like takes it in.
The you that is in your 20s compared to the you that's like 18 right now. This is very nostalgic for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're happy. Sleeping with Cal right there near.
Kind
Hmm.
Hmm?
Sleeping with Cal nearby. Next room, maybe same room. I don't know. And
kind of like next room and stuff, because it would probably be at like kind of the beginning part.
Yeah, very happy. You feel at ease. And then the fires start.
She gets panicky.
And you can't do anything.
Of just the going through the motions of the fighting and stuff.
Yep. And then Cal's there. She's nearby, and just you've seen it way too many times, even in your dreams, and it's just the semantic components for her spell, the verbal incantation she goes through, and then tree portal, poof, and you wake up.
And she's just screaming her name as loud as she can.
Oh, fun! That'll be a fun perception check.
Yeah.
And I imagine it won't even be that high of a DC if you're screaming at the top of your fucking lungs.
No, she's like in a cold sweat, screaming, very frantic at this moment.
That's a 12. I imagine that does it.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine it's probably in the next room next to you.
All right. Well, Locke, being the light sleeper that he is, his eyes are going to snap open. He is going to throw off his blankets, charge up an Eldritch Blast in his hand, like, oh shit, is she under attack? And like charge over and open
Real
the door.
quick, out of character, I want to know, how would you pronounce that name?
The name in post in chat there?
Yes.
Kalrashar.
So I was right about Cal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you
Yeah,
pronouncing
just kinda
full name or that name?
Full name.
Thought so. Okay, cool.
She's just like
Like,
sitting there. She's like hyperventilating and stuff, and she's just like. She probably scared the puppy.
The puppy is
yeah.
hiding.
Oh.
And the doors that in this building are like actual doors. Doors are just like you push shit aside. What is it?
It's mostly a door, but I mean, yeah, it's mostly a push aside sort of a thing. It's not like
Like I said, Locke. Like I said, Locke has an Eldritch Blast bubbling in his hand.
Yep.
He opens up the door, looks around. What is it? Are you all right?
What you see is Riven sitting in bed, just like sweating, slightly hyperventilating, and she looks scared for her life. She's actually scared.
Locke looks at the Eldritch Blast in his hand, shudders, tightens his hand to a fist. Looks up. Riven, are you all right?
Okay, I'm assuming other people noticed.
Mm-hmm. We have an oak that comes in soon after Locke does. He's got his staff in his hand, and he sees that Locke got there first because Locke was closer, and he just sort of... He'll actually keep his distance for a minute. And Gretchen's there. Gretchen goes to go closer, and Oak's just like, no. And Leanne, you don't see Leanne. Although Finch is at the corner of the doorway.
Riven kind of swings her legs out and is just like sitting on the edge of the bed and stuff, and she just puts her face in her hands.
Do you want to talk about it, Riven?
And there's a shake of her head.
But you're okay.
Nothing. I'm fine. Fine? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It's kind of this profound silence, because I mean, like, what the hell are we supposed to say?
I don't know.
Exactly. We don't fucking know.
It's clear there's nothing wrong in the room, and she just sat there and is scared. And
Oh, there's a very tired... There is something wrong in the room. A very scared puppy.
I know. Wait, does Riven now hear the whimpering?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. She just like goes, oh, I'm just sorry. Stuff and goes and tries to coax the puppy and pets him.
He's shaking.
Oh, sorry.
I think you scared all of us, not just him.
Yeah, Riven actually wipes away a few tears that escaped and stuff, and then keeps apologizing.
Gretchen sort of pushes her way past Oak, and she's... Bad dreams are bad. They're hard to talk about. But talking about them helps. If it's...
Wasn't a nightmare. It was very.
She'll talk about it when she's ready. I know a thing or two about carrying baggage. Let's give her some space. Locke will kind of shuffle out of the room.
Again, Riven like quietly for like waking him up. I'm assuming it's like just early in the morning now at this point.
Oh, yeah. Like probably 6 or 7 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Actually, hold on.
Do you have any tea? Or water? I need water. Hold on.
Yeah.
Butts?
Okay, never mind.
I don't know who rolled that, but apparently they suck.
They're just so tired.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, Riven gets up and heads towards the doorway. He's like, do you have any water or something to
Yeah.
drink?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Gretchen goes to get some water. And Oak's still
Oh.
nearby.
Yeah, Riven just like walks out of the room and actually goes to the little group area. Stuff's like, she's awake now.
Oak sort of steps over closer to you. Locke's right. You know, you can talk about it when you're ready, but I think we all have a little bit of baggage. Just know that you're not alone, okay?
Yeah. It's just been some couple of days.
Yeah. And Locke, you're still probably pretty close, and Oak's just... So, what do we want to do next?
Well, I had plans on, once everyone was a bit more awake and had some breakfast in our bellies, I was going to ask your mother if I could borrow a spell component or two, and well, then I was going to take off for Yukiegi.
That's good. Yeah. We can head up there. Riven, you
Yeah.
okay with that?
Yeah, I have to go back up there anyways.
You coming
Right.
along, Oak?
Yeah, sure. We'll pass by Dad's outpost. I'm sure he'd be happy to see us and know we're going to Yukiegi.
Who's outpost?
Hmm?
Out of character, who's outpost?
His dad's.
Oh, okay. I thought he was coming home.
The dad is currently not at home, but Leanne came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Locke's gonna wait until after some food has been served before he'll approach Leanne with the request for a copper wire if she has a spare lying around.
Oh, yeah.
Message cantrip.
Which she would. She totally would. Oh, actually, in reference to your spell component thing, how many spells do you have that you need components for at this point?
I have 1, 2.
Oh, I also have a note.
3, 4, 5.
5 different things you need spell components for?
Mm-hmm.
You guys still have the I think Riven still has it in her inventory. Riven still has the Goblin spellbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the wizard book and then a note.
Yeah, you have Goblin letter as well. Okay, so everyone has some breakfast. Everyone is a little bit calmer, doing a lot better. And Locke goes up to Leanne to ask about the component pouches.
Specifically, I'm just after copper wire. That's the only spell component I'm missing.
Right. Leanne's just sort of, how about a trade-off? If you ever are in need of more spell components, and I happen to have them, I'll let you have them. And all I really want back in return is that Goblin spellbook that Riven still has.
What do you need it for?
It
I'm
has
assuming we're in the same room.
Yeah. It has a spell or two that might prove interesting. That having a way to scribe it and write it out, though I have to translate from Goblin while using comprehend languages. Maybe I should ask.
Get any use. I can't get any use out of it. As long as Riven has no objections, sure.
Maybe what?
Nothing. I was just thinking there might be a faster way for me to get the spells scribed that would take less concentration for my part. But anyway,
Yeah, you can go ahead and take the book.
okay. She takes the book, and Riven, looking through her pack, will now realize, oh yeah, I have a letter.
Oh, yeah, here's a note.
Alright. Well, this is interesting. Where'd you find this?
I honestly don't remember where we got it.
Goblin camp.
It was a letter in among the bugbear stuff in the goblin camp.
Yeah, along with the javelin that I have.
Mm-hmm. She makes use of the spell comprehend languages thing as before. Sort of looks over the note. That's...
What?
How big was that goblin camp? Maybe 10, 15 goblins or something?
Yeah.
Seems like a reasonable number.
And 2 harpies and...
A bugbear. Or
Yeah.
hobgoblin. Something like that.
A bugbear.
Right.
We killed the hobgoblin before.
Right. Why?
Well, this note is like a faction of goblins broke away from a larger troop. Apparently there was some disagreement because they lost quite a few of their numbers in a battle. And whoever this looks like, goblin writing is so atrocious. It's like Blitz, maybe? I guess? I don't know.
Blitz?
Blitz, as in Blitz. That.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna read it. It's broken as all crap because goblin, but sure.
you have like a handout of it?
Do you have like a handout so I can do my epic voice actor shit?
Yes, please.
Yes. I
Okay.
will make a handout, and
Yay.
I will give it to both of you. Although I feel like Riven will have this letter, so I'll take it away from
Yeah.
Locke. I'll take it away from Locke whenever
When I get
he.
done reading it aloud
Yeah.
for our listening pleasure.
Uh huh.
That's also funny. Is it just the way I said that?
Yes.
Glad to know I can make this group laugh so consistently. I'm doing one of my jobs.
Why is it? Oh, it's up there. Okay. Um. And if you want to read it, you can either read it in a voice that you want to give Leanne, or you can read it in a voice that you want to give goblins. Or hobgoblins.
I can't. Well, I mean, I'm not a woman, so I'm probably going to voice it as a goblin.
Yeah. Sure. Boop.
Kinda scratchy and shit. Goblin. Okay. Okay. So, letter of leaving, is that just the title of the note, or is that also what I need to... Do I also say that?
It's technically the title of the note.
Okay. It reads, going in just kind of a generic goblin voice. Blitz is tired of this, Kirkak. The hobgoblins were wrong. We may have won the Battle of Derval, but we lost Minnie. We don't trust the hobgoblins anymore. The sisters are better. They trust us. The sisters will protect us. Now we leave. And in different, better handwriting, Blitz, you need to be careful. Come back to us. The sisters are just using you.
There you go.
I'm assuming Blitz is the.
Didn't realize this was World War II London. I went there.
Blitz is the bugbear.
Perhaps.
Maybe. Because
Yeah.
I'm guessing the sisters was a reference to the.
Would I know
Harpies.
anything about what the sisters refers to here? I'm imagining it's the harpies.
I mean, we can assume.
Or is there like some larger scale thing that might be referring to that I could like roll like a history check to understand?
Sure, roll history.
All right.
Yeah, because I would assume of like
18.
rumors. If rumors of Dervrill's gone around.
Alright. So, Locke with a history roll of 18. Two things immediately strike you out as something that you sort of
Shit, I
know
gotta
about.
Go back to the dugout.
Yeah. The sisters is like some people think it's just like a made up story. Other people think it's actually a thing. There seem to be a trio of like magically inclined harpies that the legends just say that if you hear a harpy that is luring you to them and then all of a sudden you've lost 3 days, yeah, you just got sister abducted.
Huh.
It's basically sort of
Kind of
it's
a local folktale.
yeah, it's akin to a local folktale or a sort of a kind of like a unsolved mystery type thing where people just like disappear for a couple of days, and some of them will claim that it was a trio of harpies, and other people will be like, well, harpies don't do that kind of thing, come on. At least not in to that capacity, because the stories that those people bring back describe like all sorts of crazy stuff. But yeah, that's one. And then you've heard the name for Diravel. Is that Diravel, right? Diravel.
Dyreville.
Yeah, that.
Or it's like I took Dyreville, yeah.
Diravel. That's right. Um, what would be something an 18 would give him for Diravel?
It wouldn't you know that that the village was actually destroyed. Like no one
Oh
lives there
yeah,
anymore.
that makes
It's
sense.
like
Yeah, duh. So Diravel is a relatively recently destroyed village.
like last year maybe?
Something like that. Yeah. There was a strong sort of trade route with it and another nearby bigger village, and then word got around that one of the traders went to visit Diravel and just it was just gone. It was
Like burnt houses and
burned to the ground and no one was around. It was just gone. Okay. Yeah.
And that connects to the sisters thing?
The sisters. It seems from the note that Blitz or these goblins were part of the group of goblins that fought in Diravel, and if Diravel was destroyed and this battle talks about winning, you could sort of assume that maybe these goblins were the ones that destroyed Diravel. And then, but even though they won, Blitz had decided that he didn't want to fight with the hobgoblins anymore. So though he fought and won, he left. And he left because of the sisters.
And we got 2 harpies. The folktale says there's 3. We might have an angry harpy coming after us at some point.
Oh yeah.
Like how the dungeon master just confirms my theory. Just, oh yeah.
Well, you'll see.
I'm sure I will. And I'll meet it with an eldritch blast to the face.
yeah. Well, Riven's insert is so this group did break off from the group that attacked her village.
You can have it, Riven. Boop.
Yep, yay, this is mine.
Now all yours.
I
It
shall
should have
cherish it forever.
It should have disappeared from Locke.
Yep. I no longer have the goblin note.
All right. Cool. And there we
Now,
are.
does anyone else have any questions about that letter?
No, Locke's kind of keeping quiet.
Oak, yeah, Oak pretty much is too. Although he looks over to Riven. Actually, I guess he'd have to roll history too.
Yeah. Like Locke's kind of connecting the dots, but he's not saying anything about it.
History. Your history sucks. Boop.
Nope.
Nope, not a thing. Okay.
I guess it hasn't traveled this far south yet.
I mean, I was further south than this one I heard, but I was in like a town that's actually like part of the like a farming or like a riverside village when I caught wind of this. So,
All right. Well. Yeah. Leanne sort of hands the note back to Riven.
Thanks.
So I can have the spell book then. That's good.
She hands the spell book over to her.
Okay.
and then I acquire copper wire.
Yes, you do.
Okay, now I can cast message. That will be exceedingly useful in the future.
Indeed. And I'm assuming you're gonna pull a Sam and be like, blah 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 blah. You can reply to this message.
I am not going to rip off Sam Riegel because I'm an original person.
Ah, okay. Just checking.
I will either have no catchphrase at the end of a message, or I will come up with my own.
Fair enough.
Probably won't have one because Locke is a far more serious character than Not on that front.
True. But you do favor Tasha's hideous laughter, so we don't know.
I've only used it like once, twice.
I like how you couldn't remember. Once? Twice? Twice.
Yeah, twice. Once on that hobgoblin we caught and stuck to a tree with a sickle, and I believe once to save my ass when we were fighting all the goblins in the camp at some point.
I think you tried to cast it on the Harpy and failed.
Yeah.
But anyway. Cool. I think this was a fairly effective chill session, ignoring the PTSD.
Tomorrow, or next time we play, we start off for Ukiegi, which is a weird fucking name for a town. Ukulele, but it's made of eggs.
You'd think I like Japanese names, okay? Anyway.
I noticed one of your games is based off of Naruto.
Exactly. At least I don't have Tadahashi.
Mm.
I am ketchup.
Ketchup. Okay.
Alright. It was fun. I rather enjoyed that. I sort of expected that you guys wouldn't really talk to Trouble too much, but okay.
Maybe next time. If he decides to be nosy again.
Well, he's pretty much nosy all the time, so.
Alright.
Yeah, some nice character development between Riven and Locke.
Oh yeah, very much so. And you got to see, not really interact with him, but see Okai. Yay.
He's a chill high.
He is a chill high.
Are we gonna do that next time on etc. thing, or
Yes, we are.
who's saying it this time?
I will say the first part. Eeny, meeny, miny, Brian. Or no. Sam.
What?
You're doing the second half.
Oh yeah, sure.
This has been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Yay, backstory reveals?
And join us next time when we go and visit UC Eggy.